our club to new heights of success. Ma'am, I request you to address the gathering with your kind and supporting words. Aishi, ma'am, I request you to address the gathering with your kind and supporting words.
Yeah, hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Sorry for the delay. Good evening, everyone. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce our speaker today, who's going to talk on careers of marketing. I think I'm a novice in the area of marketing, and Neeraj will handle it well. So he'll be talking on careers in marketing and current trends. So this is a subject in which I think you all should be deeply interested as a career option. Now, Neeraj, a speaker for today, happens to be my batchmate. He is a very sincere, hardworking, down-to-earth, humble guy that I know. He is an enthusiastic lad, and he's always prepared to take that extra mile. I think he accepted my invitation at a very short notice to again address our students today. So thank you, Neeraj, for accepting our request at a very short notice. And I request all my students to join me to welcome Neeraj to the Alumni Talk series for the day. So I also want to convey, I also want to again convey the best wishes of our founder, sir, director, sir, and I welcome once again Neeraj to the talk series today. Okay, so thank you everyone, and I guess we can continue.
Thank you, ma'am, for enlightening us with your wise and inspiring remarks. Today, introducing our guest of honor and speaker is a great privilege for us. He's a man of great virtue and simplicity. It is indeed a pleasure to welcome Mr. Neeraj Purty, the esteemed alumni of KIIT School of Management, batch 2008 to 2010. Not only is it a moment of nostalgia for us, but also an opportunity to be proud of, reflecting upon his journey and achievements. He's a living example of, if you really put your heart and soul into something, nothing can stop you from achieving it. And the fact that hard work always pays off. He's currently the lead analyst at Anheuser Busch InBev, a multinational drink and brewing company. Previously, he has also worked with Genpact, Cantor, Global Data, Capgemini, and Bent. His expertise is multifold in the marketing domain and data and analytics. He's experienced in managing complex projects with consistent and successful results. It's a great opportunity for us to gain different industry insights for him. So I would like to request Neeraj sir to share his views on the topic, that is career in marketing and current trends. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for such a enormous introduction. To be honest, I wasn't expecting that. Great to see Ayushi. A long time. I think it has been 11 years. I had seen you, to be honest, live.
Yeah, great. Yeah, Neeraj. After a long time.
Correct. I mean, like, you look quite the same, to be honest. You still look the same, but your articulation definitely has taken over multifold because the fact that you've become a faculty. But nice to see, and thank you for those words, that introduction which you gave. I don't know how much of it I deserve, to be honest, but thank you. Right. So let's start today's session. As everyone in the forum is aware, that we're gonna discuss what are the various marketing careers and the various trends which are setting right now, right? So with respect to my job experience, I think you guys have got a brief. But let me just add a bit to that. I'm basically born and brought up in Rourkela. It's a small city in Orissa. My parents were a central government employee who have actually retired 10 years back. I did most of my studies in Rourkela until graduation, and I did eventually my MBA in KIIT. From there, actually, my first job was with Colgate-Palmolive. I had got my campus from KSOM itself, and I joined them for 3 months, wherein only to realize that, I want to do something different than what I was doing as a channel sales officer with them. And that's when I ventured out to Bangalore, and then, things panned out one after one. One other thing I want to highlight, I'm a major in finance, actually. I was a guy who wanted to build a career in finance. I did not have intentions to build a career in marketing, to be very, very honest. But during my stint in MBA, during the second year, I started realizing that probably I won't be that bad a guy, even if I venture out in marketing. And 2010, unfortunately, was a year where recession had crept in, so placements had taken a toll. And that's when I became flexible and I started venturing out into the marketing piece of it. And here now I am after 10 years, working with most of the renowned market research firms, and now working with AB InBev, which is an FMCG firm. We are the world's largest beer manufacturer, among the top 5 biggest FMCG firm in the world. Here I am managing their trade marketing division from last 4 or 5 years. Actually, it's close to 5 years now, right? So that's a background about me. And coming to the session, how do you want to take this forward? So let me just give you a framework to that, right? What I will request every one of you, and I can see quite a big bunch, close to 50 folks here. What I will suggest everyone to contribute to this discussion, right? If it had to be a lecture kind of an environment, I think it was very easy to record this piece. Ayushi would have asked me, Neeraj, record your piece for half an hour and send it across to me. I would have done that, right? So the reason we are live here, because we want to interact with each other. We want to have a conversations, and conversations cannot happen if people are not involved, right? So I'm into it, and I expect you guys to contribute from your ends as well. Feel free to pitch in whatever you have in your mind, whatever doubts you have. Forget about whether it's wrong, right? Don't worry about it. No one is going to judge you. No one is going to rate you. No one is giving you marks based on what you're asking, right? So feel free and be a little comfortable. I think a lot of folks I see, some of them are wearing blazers and all. I think you are too rigid, right? Not too tight. So relax a bit. Treat me as your elder brother, as an elder mentor, and just be casual. So don't worry about for next half an hour, right? So how we will take this session is, we want to speak about the trends in marketing. But before that, let me ask you one question. How many of you actually want to go into consulting firms like E&Y, Deloitte, and basically suggest companies like AB InBev, what should they be doing to do business? How many of you aspire to be in that kind of a role in future? Maybe not immediately in 5 years, 6 years. How many of you? Come on, guys, don't be afraid. Speak up. Otherwise, I'll start calling names and then we'll have to speak. Okay, let me pick, guys. Shresth, right?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Cool. Hi. Tell me,
Hi,
what kind of a career do you want to aspire in future?
So actually, I'm taking marketing as my major. So I've decided to take it as a major. So, and my goal is to get placed in Deloitte or any consultancy company, sir.
So you are looking out for a management consulting kind of a role?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Of course, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yeah.
Terrific.
Yes, sir.
Thanks. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone else? Anirban. I'm just randomly picking people because you're not coming out on your own.
Hello, sir.
Hey, no, sir, man. Just call me Neeraj. That's more than enough.
Hi, Neeraj.
Hey.
Good to have you on this, on our campus.
Good to have you too.
So yeah, I've been working with an MNC, IT MNC for 2.5 years. So I believe that after doing marketing, I will be joining in an IT MNC consulting, mainly consulting firms.
Okay, so you are you're focusing more in IT consulting.
Yes.
Whereas a friend of ours who just mentioned that he wants to focus on management consulting. Good. It's still a marketing wing at the end of the day, right? So if I again have to ask you guys that if you're aspiring these kind of roles, what are the things which are gonna materialize it for you? What are the things which is gonna land you into any environment? Anyone?
I believe a good market knowledge about good market knowledge on the domain in which we are going to pursue. That will be a plus point.
Ashia, Javed, what do you think so?
Sir, I agree with Anirban. I also think a good market knowledge and researching upon how what we are going to be, what we are going to market, and do a background research upon it.
Okay.
Like with.
So basically, we are talking about skills, isn't it? We are talking about skills. So just not in marketing, in any kind of a role, what lands your job is skill sets, right? So if I have to now ask you guys, in 2021, which are the most sorted skill sets which companies are looking out for? Have you ever done that desk research? I know you guys want to build a career and stuff like that, but if you have to crack those jobs, have you ever done those kind of desk research where you have evaluated, okay, if I want to become a management consultant, right? Shresth, you want to become management consultant? Have you ever done a background about, man, what kind of skill sets are people looking out for? What does Deloitte look for? Have you done that?
Honestly, sir, no, sir. Honestly speaking.
I'm happy that you accepted that, and
Yes,
trust me, we all have done that mistake. We all, including me, I'm telling you, I've done that mistake, and I believe that that's a very big mistake, right? Setting up aspirations, setting up goals doesn't make a difference if you don't create a roadmap towards it. Make sense, right? What is the point? I want to become a billionaire in next 10 years, right? But what am I going to do about it? How do I do about it? That's what is more important, right? Goal is just a vision, but if you don't have an action plan, it's just a dream, nothing else, right? So just the way it came out in our conversation, that skill sets is what gonna take you there. And when we speak about trends and trend settings in the industry and all, it affects your skill sets basically. So if I'm looking out for, so I'll give you an example. Okay, I'll give you an example. When I was starting my career in 2010, and business analytics was like at a very niche position then. It was just like kind of entity, right? And in market research, we used to use a tool called SPSS. And Ayushi will tell us that when we were studying, we were given courses on SPSS. We used to do our business research management paper, which was done by Sir Rajdash. I'm not sure if Sir Rajdash is still associated with it, but
no,
right?
He has joined IIM Ranchi, I guess.
Okay,
He did his
okay.
PhD at I think completed his PhD from IIM Bangalore recently, and then he's posted at IIM Ranchi.
Cool. So if you remember, we used to do a lot of those SPSS studies, right? All those statistical analysis we used to do using SPSS. And this is 2009, this is 2010 I'm talking about. The moment I landed in 2011, 2012, Genpact is actually one of the famous retail analytics company. You know, they're world famous in it. I landed there and I realized that, like, they are not using SPSS, man. Like, they look down upon SPSS because SPSS has a lot of limitations. And SAS was something which had come in. You know, so SAS was a new skill set which we were talking about that time. I tried SAS, but I come from a non-programming background, so I found that, okay, what boring, like, you know, so much of programming. This is not what I was aiming at when I was studying my market research papers. So I did try it for a while, but then I think that like this is not working out. I can't be a programmer, right? So I was still working in the research domain, but I was not working on SAS predominantly. 3 years, 4 years down the line, the same concern which I had, the industry was having the same concern. They said that SAS is a tool which requires a lot of programming, and it's not conducive for a lot of folks who probably are good with statistics. They are not programmers. How are they going to use SAS? So new tool came up, R, right? Free to source, train yourself the way you want to, and a lot of marketing activities went behind it. Everyone started working on R, right? This is 2015, 2016 I'm talking about. Exactly the time when probably I was in a consulting firm, Global Data, and I was switching to Cantor. After I moved to Cantor and I was working with Cantor, and yeah, I think I just left Cantor and I was about to join API. A new tool came up, which is Python. And last 3 years, everyone has been talking about Python, right? So now you understand, right? The skills is something which you have to keep revamping based on the industry, right? It's very easy to set up now that I want to become a management consultant in E&Y, but then it is very important to know by the time I pass out in 2022, will that skill set be required, right? So if I'm not satisfying that skill set in the first place, I'm not going to crack it, so your knowledge part, etc. leaves behind. So when we speak about trends now, you should always be first considering the skill sets, right? Because skill sets is what is going to land you there. Now, skill sets are of 2 types. And this is what I wanted to focus more on today. What I'll do is I'll just give you one market trend. I will just give you one industry trend today, right? And we'll speak about it for the first 15 minutes. I'll speak 15 minutes because I know that it's highly essential that I communicate to you that how important that is, because for years, in the last 20 years, we have been looking down upon it. Okay, so I want to emphasize that you guys, especially the marketing vertical, is going to face that challenge way more than a finance guy or an investment bank guy. Okay, so that 15 minutes, we'll talk about that one change. And the next 15 minutes, what will happen is you guys tell me that what are the industry changes you are seeing, right? Because you guys are going to become management consultants, man. You guys are going to tell companies what they should be doing. Then how are you expecting me to, serve you in a silver platter and tell these are the industries? Then I'm not letting you become the managers in the first place, right? So what we will do in last 10, 15 minutes, you guys tell me that what have you been hearing? What do you think the industry is going to move to? Say, for example, someone comes up and says that, Neeraj, off trade, man, retail is going to go down, e-commerce, sell your beer through e-commerce, man, sell it through Amazon, right? Those are the kind of suggestions which I will look from you, correct? So what you do is you tell me that how industry is going to behave, what are the trends, and I'm going to validate you guys. I'm going to tell you like, okay, okay, what you're thinking is on the same lines. If you're wrong, I'll correct it. That no, this is not correct. Okay, make sense? Cool, done. So, but as I said, I want a lot more participation, guys. I want you guys to speak more. Aliva, I can see. Ashia, I can see. Soham, I can see. I'm expecting you guys to speak up in next 15, 20 minutes. Okay, I'm waiting for you guys to just open up. So, skill sets. There are 2 kinds of skill sets. One is hard skill and one is soft skill. If I ask you what is a hard skill, how will you explain? Anyone?
So hard skill is basically like technical sort of things, like the knowledge or technicality that we have come to know, that we have gained from the studies while studying in MBA. So this is exactly like.
Good. Anyone else want to take shot? What is a hard skill?
The domain knowledge.
Domain knowledge. Makes sense. I agree.
And
anyone else?
The extra courses that we do and the certificates that we get for it.
Certificates, is it? Good. Okay, cool. You are right actually in a lot of it, right? So
knowledge of business acumen and like understanding the business intelligence tools and knowledge of how to implement the strategy in a business.
Okay.
Along with this knowledge of using Microsoft Office tools.
Okay, that's a skill set. Yes, that's a hard skill. I agree.
Qualifications.
I might be wrong, sir.
Go ahead. Don't worry about me.
Yes,
whether you're right or wrong. Just say it.
Yes, sir. So, but communication skills, sir. That how you interact people.
That's a hard skill. You think? That's a hard skill.
Soft skill.
Oh, it's a soft
skill. No
problems.
No problems. We are here to help you, right? So no worries. I mean, the first thing which I want you guys to open up, because if you don't open up, you'll never get to know whether you're right or you're wrong. I mean, that's one thing which I always had when I was in MBA. I used to speak a lot. I speak a lot today also. People have to stop me that. Bas karo, bahut ho gaya, right? But in a way, it's a good habit to speak, because then others get to know that whether are you thinking on right line or whether are you wrong. Okay. So what else? More. I want more folks to pitch in. Subiksha.
Coding ability is also hard skills.
Good. So, Bhiksha, then tell me, like, what are the soft skills? Barring communication skill, because I know most of the folks say communication skill, English aana chahiye, but that's only one portion of your soft skill. What are the other soft skills?
Leadership skills.
Cool. What else?
Team.
Team building skills.
Yes.
Correct.
Responsibility.
Taking responsibility. Yeah. That's kind of an
Problem solving.
problem
Sir, how we
solving.
can deal with the others.
Exactly.
Time management.
How we are presenting ourselves in front of others. That comes.
Correct. So
Right attitude.
Social
People's-
intelligence.
people skills, social skill, right? So these are the soft skills. Okay. So you guys are you guys are right. Bang on. Now you are realizing, right, why I'm trying to brainstorm, why I'm trying to push you, because there are a lot of things you already know. It's just that you're not confident whether you're right or you're right. So there is a hard skill component, then there is a soft skill component, right? Now, if I asked you, what is more important, hard skill or soft skill?
So I feel both are important in their
So
own
being
aspect.
balanced on a platform is
Yes,
more
sir, both are
important.
necessary. Like if you want to build your career well and you want to excel in any field, without the absence of any of these skills, you won't be able to access. Like if you have the hard skills, like if you have the knowledge, core knowledge of your domain, anything, but you don't know how to present yourself, how to make others understand, so you won't be able to do. And
so sorry, I'm cutting you in between. So if I have to ask you, to which skill do you give more preference to? Okay, I get it. You need hard skill and soft skill both.
yes, sir.
Then only.
So I think soft skills. With the
Soft
help of
skills,
the
sir.
soft skills,
Soft
we can
skills.
almost manage
Soft
anything.
skills.
Like for example, if you don't have the knowledge, for example, I would like to give we are going for a GD and we don't know about the topic. So with the help of our communication skills, we can manage in that GD, like grasping the points of others and turning it into our points, like changing the language and doing some addition. So we can go through that. So soft skills are much more needed in today's era.
How many of you agreed to Snehal actually when Snehal says that soft skills are more important, hard skills are not that important? Come on, someone has to take on Snehal. Just because Snehal is an administrator and moderator, that doesn't mean that you should look down upon yourself, right? So someone has to take it on.
So we are raising hands.
Yeah, go ahead. Ashia, go ahead. Sorry, I was not able to see everyone who is raising hand. So yeah, Aisha, please.
Ashia, you can. Yes. I agree with Snehal. I feel if we only have give more importance to the hard skills, it will be tough for us to face normal situations in life too. And a person should be able to communicate. That person should have a social intelligence and should know how to behave in a particular situation. And just having hard skills won't be sufficient enough for that individual to grow.
Okay, let me ask Manisha then. Manisha, what do you think? The preferences should be given to soft skill, or see, there is no debate that you need both, right? I'm just clearing the air. You need both of them. But if I have to say what is more important, what is, which has a bigger weightage, what do you think? It's a soft skill or a hard skill?
I also prefer soft skills over hard skills, because if you just have the hard skills and you do not know how to talk, or I believe that with soft skills, if you know how to manage people, you can get the work done. Even if you won't be able to do it, with the help of others, you can get it done. But with just hard skills, it will be difficult.
So you are looking to become a manager straight away, huh? Like KSOM second year and just go and become a manager in Deloitte, huh?
So with the colleagues also, they will also help you.
Why will a colleague do your part of the work here? I mean, if I am your colleague and you're trying to be smart and Neeraj mera kaam kar do, I'll say okay, kar raha hu, and you will realize that how many errors are there in your report. Then what happens?
So we have to balance it out, right? A little bit of knowledge is also important, but soft skills are more important.
Soft skills are more important, you said. Cool. Yeah, but Barenia, if I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Yes, sir. So I think that hard skills are a little bit more important than the soft skills, because if we know about how to handle people and carry out a conversation without a basic knowledge over our domain or whatever designation we are working in, then we will be going to fail at the end. Because if we are not going to submit a report at the end of the month or the year of the company correctly, then how does a soft skill or interaction between the employees matter? Because it's wrong at the end.
Completely agreed. Completely agreed. So finally, we have one person who has kind of differed, right? Who else wants to differ? Rashmi, Trishita.
Pratyush, sir.
Yeah, Pratyush, go ahead, please.
For like long-term run, you have to have the technical skills. Because with the soft skill, you can survive in the industry for 1 year through your bluffs and your smiling, you have talking skills. But for a long term, for like to become a manager within a 3 year, you need technical strategy and planning. For that, you have to have some knowledge about the core basics you have to have. So I think like technical skills are more important than soft skills. Yeah, for starting, yeah, for bluffing, you can to make impress HR, you need for that.
Bluffing, huh? You actually think you can bluff in an interview, and a good organization at least.
You have to be smart enough for that. I think.
Okay. Chicken. Who else? Abhijit, Anirban, I see that you have raised hand. Wanna add something?
Yes. Actually, I also believe that having hard skills are important. Means it should be a ratio of 60-40, I believe.
So what are you giving 60 as?
The hard skills, of course, the hard skills.
Okay.
40% the soft skills. Because at the end of the day, if I being a supervisor of any team in future and I don't know what they are doing, then my colleagues will, of course, will be like, इसको तो कुछ नहीं पता. So I believe that yes, hard skills are actually very important.
Okay, cool. I get that where you guys are coming from now. I saw a lot of folks said that hard skill probably is a little more important, like Anirban said. And again, there is no debate that you need both, to be honest. And that's right, absolutely. You need both. You cannot survive with not having one of them. But people who are debating that soft skill is more important, right? I know that for hard skill, you are in an MBA institutions, you are gaining expertise by studying different subjects and all. If you think that soft skill is so important, what are you doing for soft skills? How are you building your soft skills? Kya hua? Like everyone is quiet, right? I mean, we had so many folks who were saying soft skill. And then suddenly I asked, what are you doing for soft skills? Manisha, what happens?
For communication, we have GDPI sessions.
The communication, ma'am, communication, just one of it. I told you that communication, just one. Right?
Sir,
what else?
Apart from that, how to manage the team, we do that every subject. We have assignments, group projects, and all. With that, we can learn leadership and management qualities.
Snehal,
yes,
you were vouching a lot for soft skill. So what are you doing?
As one of our that teammates said that regarding communication, so many things are going on. Like we are asked for the class participation. So class participation, it really pays a good way for enhancing your communication skill, to present your views and points in front of almost everyone, so not to get scared of anyone. And apart from that, like reading newspapers, we're also doing such sort of things. And
see, reading newspaper is not soft skill actually. Reading newspaper is actually a hard skill. You're building your competency around the stuff, right?
So like for communication, we need a good vocabulary, and vocabulary comes from reading as well. So in that point of view, I'm saying that I used to read newspaper so as to enhance my communication skills and vocabulary.
Cool.
And adding to Snehal, I guess organizing these events also building soft skills.
Yes.
Yeah. Agree. So let me ask you, do you know that LinkedIn did a survey in 2021, and they came out with 4 or 5 top skill sets which industries are looking up for right now? Okay. Do you know what those skill sets are? Do you have an idea what are those sorted skill sets which most of the recruiters are looking out for?
Microsoft Excel, one of the skills.
Dude, that's cool. What else? Top 5 I'm talking about. Top 5.
I know only one.
Okay, let me tell you, because it's specific to LinkedIn, right? And LinkedIn is a very important platform when it comes to professional networking, right? So the top 5 skill sets which people are looking out for, and I know this because ABI is also doing the same. One is creativity. They are looking out for folks who are creative in nature. Okay. Second is persuasion skills, because whether you are in marketing, whether you're in finance or any kind of other services, you are selling at the end of the day, right? So persuasion skill becomes important. Some of the folks said that, team management. So yes, collaboration. That's the third most important skill set which people are looking out for. One thing which you guys missed was adaptability skills. Corporate is a very high pressure zone, right? So you go through hell during those 12 hours or 10 hours, whatever you're spending in corporate. So adaptability, how do you take pressure and you still thrive on, right? That's the fourth most important skill set which they are looking for. And fifth is emotional intelligence. I did heard someone calling out that, your emotional quotient is important. Why? Simply because, for example, someone like me, right? My parents live in Rourkela, I live in Bangalore, I live alone. I have not met my sister who works for Uber in Hyderabad for maybe 2.5 years. So I'm basically living alone. I don't have a family touch. I'm interacting with my teammates, my folks in the office, more than I'm interacting with my family members, right? So you need an emotional quotient. You need to know that, you need empathy, to be honest, if I have to put it in that way. You never know what your colleague is going through and stuff like that, because those are the qualities which is going to make team better. Because at the end of the day, an individual doesn't give results. Let me tell you that. An individual will never give you results. It's the team which gives results. Always. Okay. No matter Sachin Tendulkar is the best batsman of the world, no matter Virat Kohli is the best batsman of the world, no matter Ricky Ponting was the best captain of the world, right? And who won 3 World Cups. But the fact is, the rest 10 guys will have to take field. If they don't take field, these 1 guys are not going to win your match. So it's a team which delivers always. Yeah, there will be some certain players who will be like more important, who will be delivering more. Some of the folks will be delivering less. I get that, but it's a team which gives results. So these are the skill sets which companies are looking out for. Companies are not looking out for MBA graduate or engineers anymore. What they are looking out for is personalities. They're looking out for personalities. Okay, that's what exactly everyone is doing. Companies like AB InBev, let me tell you, I don't know how many of you have come across this or not, but just not AB, I remember Cantor also used to do that. Besides your written test, interviews, etc., there is one final round, which is psychometric test, wherein they are evaluating a person on attributes, on qualities. And they take it very, very seriously. At least in ABI last year, I saw an IIM Ahmedabad guy getting rejected because his psychometric scores were not good. Okay, he couldn't get through. I know it because he's a brother of one of my friends. So I know that he did well for all the rounds, but the last round, the psychometric test seems like had a very low score and he couldn't come back. Right. So this brings us back, soft skill versus hard skills. And when some of the folks said that yes, soft skill is more important, actually they are right. Soft skills in this era is actually more important. And I gave you guys a background of how, when I was starting in market research, how the tools changed. Organizations are changing drastically now. They are the digital transformation and the form of doing business itself is changing very fast. The ecology of business is changing very fast. This change is going to increase more in future. When you guys come out by 2022, I'm assuming, right? You guys will be coming out. So by then, this acceleration of pace will even amplify than what it has been in last 10 years. So last 10 years, the pace at which I saw changes, these changes are going to become even more higher in next 10 years or next 15 years. What happens then is you will constantly have to upgrade your hard skill, right? And when you're upgrading your hard skill, you will have to fall back on your soft skill because these are the only 2 skills a human being has. What I want to convey is your soft skills are going to become even more critical in next 10, 15 years than what it has been in last 10 years. Agree? How many of you feel that what Neeraj is saying is making sense, or I still need to prove it to you guys? Aliva, what do you think?
Yes, sir. I totally agree with you.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Jaspal, what do you think about it?
Yes, I agree with you.
Right? And this change which I'm talking about, it's not very specific to marketing. Let me tell you that. Even the finance folks are going to face it. Okay. Even the HRs are going to face it. You just name it. Procurement is going to face it. Everyone is going to face it. The way of doing business is going to change very fast in coming 10 to 15 years with technologies like RPA. Right? You would have, I'm pretty sure a lot of you would have heard about it. Things like artificial intelligence is going to change the way industry works. Correct? So what happens then is, as I said, you'll have to upgrade your hard skills and you'll have to fall back on your soft skills. But coming back to the marketing domain, right? Why I'm emphasizing this more in the marketing domain. If you study the financial verticals, finance verticals, HR vertical, a lot of these rules are a little technical in nature, right? If you're working in finance, you must know how to read a balance sheet, right? Without knowing that how a balance sheet works or how an income statement works, you're not going to survive. So that's an eligibility criteria. Correct. One of my folks said that he wanted to become an IT consultant. So if you don't know coding, no ways you are going to survive. Right. So in those domains, the impact of soft skill is a little limited. It's there. You cannot nullify that it doesn't exist. It's there, but it's a little limited. But in case of marketing, that percentage of dependency on soft skill is a lot more higher. Because what kind of roles do you have in marketing? Market research, right? Consulting kind of roles. A lot of folks will be in sales, right? Market development roles, business development roles, right? And these roles don't actually thrive on a lot of technical skills. It's more of interpersonal skills. These are the things which are required more, right? So because you guys are marketing, that is why I'm emphasizing that your soft skills will be critical. So watch for it. And the way you guys are preparing, you are reading books and stuff like that, that is only going to build your hard skills. But you need to identify how to bring up your soft skills, right? And where I feel, unfortunately, an institution cannot help you. Okay, an institution or any kind of an education institution will not be able to help you. That onus lies more with you. Okay, now I know that talking about soft skills is a little difficult. Convincing you folks on why it is important is a little difficult. So let's do one thing. I'm sorry I've short time by 4 minutes, but I hope you guys have some more time. I'm okay to extend by 10 minutes more probably if needed, right? So let me ask you guys one thing, that how many of you like listening to stories? Who is fond of listening to stories?
Yes, yeah.
I am personally love listening to stories. Actually, I love listening to stories. I love telling stories also, because it's a very easy mode of conveying your thoughts to the audience, right? Because if I lecture, you might not listen to it. Upar se chala jayega. But if I put it in form of a story, you will get a sense of what I'm talking about. Okay. Let me give you a snapshot. Let me share a story with you. And this is a real life story. This has happened with me. So I'm sharing my experience with you. And every story has a takeaway. What do you learn out of it? So I'll ask you guys, what did you learn out of it? Okay. And then you will realize that why I'm talking so much about the soft skills. Okay. So this is what is the most important phase for an MBA student in 2 years? What is the most important?
Management.
What is the most important part in that 2-year time frame?
The placement time.
Placement
time.
Time
Intensive
management.
and placement time. Placement time.
Placement time, right?
Placement time.
Placement time. So these stories are from placement. Okay, so I hope that some of you will find it interesting. So me, as I said, 2010, right? I mean, we were having very limited companies coming in because of the recession. And me being a finance major, initially I was waiting for finance companies to come in, but finance industry was going through a turmoil. So We did not have too much of companies which we knew that they are not coming. So these Deloitte, etc., we knew that they are not coming. So I had to be flexible for marketing kind of roles, right? So the first company which came in was HDFC. Mera return hi clear nahi. I don't know how. Both of my best friends, both of them are Manish. Ayush, he knows. So Manish Chaudhary was sitting this side. Manish Ambas was sitting this side. And to be very honest, I did ask certain answers from them. So many answers pucha tha unse bhi. Okay. And even then, they both got qualified. Mera written clear nahi. Which was like a shock. I thought, kyun nahi hua? But then it was HDFC Bank. So I used to think that pata nahi yaar, like I don't know if I fit in a bank kind of an environment or not. So I was like chill. The second company which came in was Mother Dairy. Okay, I don't know if Mother Dairy comes now, but Mother Dairy had come in, and the first thing we got to know was, oh, Mother Dairy is paying so much of salary. Okay, so the salary package was decent in that time. So obviously, like the MBA students are, every good job is based on how much salary they are paying, isn't it? That's how you evaluate. It's a good job or a bad job. No, I'm just kidding. But we were immature time probably. So right. So I went for Mother Dairy, and Mother Dairy GD was relatively simple. And for interview, they selected close to 21 folks, if I remember correctly. Okay. My dad had always told me that, Vicky, when you go for a management institute and even after, build this habit of taking feedbacks from people. So from a very young age, I have this habit, I have this knack of taking feedbacks from people, just to gauge like, how did I did? Kya acha tha, kya bura tha, something like that. So not necessarily when I'm doing well, even when I'm doing bad, I do ask feedback. How was it? Kind of stuff. So Mother Dairy, I was a little street smart, had a lot of friends also, to be honest. So what I did was, my number was around 15 or 16. So there were a lot of folks who were ahead of me. I went and asked them, like, what are the questions are they asking? And obviously some 4 or 5 of my friends, they told that ye question pucha tha. I said, okay, cool. I saw that there is a pattern in the way that they are asking questions. I saw that out of place 7 questions, some 4 or 5 questions are the same questions they are repeating. Okay, tell me something about Mother Dairy. Why do you want to join Mother Dairy? What do you know about the products of Mother Dairy? Why do you think this product of Mother Dairy is very good? It's just like that. So yahan to question leak ho gaya. So now I know the questions. What I did was I went back, I did my desk research, and obviously when you know the answers, you will prepare it well. And that's what I did, right? Even for the other 2-3 questions, now I saw that there is a pattern here. They are asking some specific questions only. Yahi guma fira ke puchna, same cheez puchna basically. And thankfully I got to. Then came my turn. My interview was, I feel that till date, in the last 10 years, I've given a lot of interviews, right? Like close to 30, 35 interviews. I don't think I've given a better interview than that. Honestly, I've cracked Kantar, I've cracked ABI, I've cracked Amazon also. I did not join them, but I don't think the kind of interview that was I've ever given. Okay, and so when the interview was going, they asked me 5-6 questions. I had to prepare already. मुझे मालूम है, scripted है. I'm sure कि क्या बोलूँ. Folks were very impressed. There was a guy and there were 2 ladies, so they were like very happy. मुझे लग रहा था कि हो गया. Then came the final question. The guy asked me that, Neeraj, this is Mother Dairy confectionery, chocolate. Sell it to me. But I am a diabetic. Okay? I wasn't prepared with this question. Ye ek naya question. So I said, sir, you want to make people happy. When you are new in this for these interviews and all, you feel that my answer should be such that the interviewer should feel happy about it, right? So I said that, no, sir, I'm not going to sell you. No. You're diabetic, man. Like, kya hoga? No. I can't sell it to you, because morally we should not be selling confectionery to a diabetic person. This was my last answer. And then the results came out. In between, obviously, I met with friends and I've told, maine to ye bola yaar. These are the things which I said. And a lot of my friends who happen to be marketing toppers also, you know, so they said, "यार बहुत अच्छा बोला, तेरा तो हो गया यार, like, you are short, you are, तू छोड़ दे पढ़ना, जरूरत नहीं है तेरी." Results came, they took 4 guys, मेरा नाम नहीं था. Okay, and I thought, ये क्या हुआ यार? Like, this was like, मैं तो expect नहीं कर रहा था. What happened? So I went to that guy, that same habit of mine, like feedback some people. So I said, "Sir, I thought that my interview was very good. I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of the person now. It's okay. A real old guy, very experienced." So I said, "Sir, what happened? Like, I gave all good questions, good answers. I could see that you guys are satisfied." And he said, "No, Neeraj, I mean, the last answer which you gave," he said that all 6 answers you said, probably they were the best which I have heard today. But the 7th answer which you gave, I think you're not ready to sell. That's what he said. And he said that what you should have done was, why take a moral stand? You should have said, okay, you do a cross-selling. Not necessarily that diabetic guy is going to have that confectionery, right? His kids, his relatives, koi aur khayega yaar, but you are a salesman, you're supposed to sell. And I said, oh, this was a mistake. Mistake. Itni cheating karne ke baad bhi mistake ho gaya. Right? So felt bad because I really was very sure that I'll crack this up. Okay. But if I have to ask you, what do you learn out of it? What are your takeaways? What do you think galat hua tha?
So in the end, that all matters, that the presence of mind. So
okay, why there was no presence of mind?
So there was a perception in mind earlier, like, yeah, that type of question is going to be asked. So our mind works in that way that we only prepare for that questions that they are going to be asked. So we don't get our mind broad open for the other types of questions that could be asked. So in that case, the presence of mind was
cool. Abhinav, what do you think? Abhinav Nayak is quite form. Quite sometimes.
I think that that the willingness to sell, that must be the key point to any like person who is going to have a career in marketing, because no matter what the circumstances are, you should always be willing to sell that product if you are going to work in the.
Why do you think it wasn't there?
Because I think that being considerate was one of the letdowns, because you are practically there to sell the product. So if you are if you are trying to be considerate and you think of not selling the product as your most primary objective and think about the person, then I think you might fail. I'm not quite sure, but
cool. You guys are close. I don't debate your answers.
Is it overconfidence?
No, not quite actually. Not quite. The reason is something different. Because if I would have been overconfident, I think a senior folk would have told it that, you know, Neeraj, we thought that you are a little overconfident. But the feedback what he said was the fact that you're not ready to sell. Right? So I'll tell you the takeaway from that session, from that meeting. My takeaway was it's not the quantity which matters. It's the quality which matters. No matter you make awesome 6 answers, but if your 7th answer is wrong, it's not up to the mark, it doesn't make an impact, you're out. Right? So it's not the quantity, it's the quality which you are speaking. Kam bolo, but make an impact. It should lay an impression. 1. 2, coming back to the fact that you know, that wrong answer is attributed more, and I understand you guys are not aware of it, is because I am a very impatient guy. By nature, I'm very impatient. Even today, I'm probably a little impatient guy. But in those days, as a young individual, losing your patience within 15-20 minutes of an interview, shameless. You should not put your guards down. I answered that because my guards were down, basically, right? I wanted to just impress him. I did not even thought about it even before answering. If you are an overconfident guy, even then you will actually kind of think about it and then give an answer. So it's not overconfidence which made that error. It was lowering your guard, right? So these were the two takeaways in that failure, if I have to talk about it. This is the first story. Second story. Next company which came in, Colgate-Palmolive, right? Now, one thing is you make an assessment where you went wrong, right? That's the first part. You figure out what has to be done. That's the second part. Most important part is execution. And this is where most of the people fail, right? So when Colgate came in, I went for, my return was through because I was always very confident with my returns. I don't know why SDFC never happened. I will still not get that answer, unfortunately, but I was through for Colgate in the first round. Second round came interview, the group discussion. There were around 8 or 9 folks. And again, all 8 and 9 folks, I know all of them. Some of them were very, very good folks. So I was not intimidated, but I knew that, this is not going to be easy. And Shilpa Rawat was the HR. She took our session. I remained quiet the entire meeting. The topic was recession and why recession happening and those kind of stuff. I remained quiet for the entire group discussion, to be honest, for the most part of it. I just spoke once. And I still remember, when everyone was fighting about, US government had made issue wrong, their society, the way they're spending is wrong and stuffs like that. I made a point that, India is secured during a recession because we have someone like RBI, which is a governing body. Similarly, US also has a governing body, but probably they have not played that role. And I kind of, elaborated this point in a more generic way. I don't really recall exactly what I said, but I remember that when I was speaking, I spoke for 2 minutes and everyone was silent. Everyone was listening to me. I remember that. The GD went on for 5 more minutes and that's it. I did not spoke more than that. After the discussion and after the results came for the second round, out of those 7, 8 folks, there was only one person who was selected, and that was me. Rest all my friends were not through. Then came the interview round. The interview round, we total 12 or 13 folks were called for the final interview. Call it fate or what, I don't know. I was the first guy for the interview. The interviews were happening late in the night. This entire session was happening the same day. So the interviews was happening at around 8:30. Okay. So just like, Shresht is nicely wearing a suit and all, I put on my best of the blazer, went in there, feeling all confident, got inside. There were 2 HRs, Shilpa Rawat, she was from Exeter herself, and there was one guy called Mr. Srivastava, I don't remember his first name. He was also from Exeter. He was a marketing manager in East, and they started an interview. The moment they started an interview, a call came, and they got to know that their flight has been cancelled. It has been delayed rather. It has been delayed to the next morning actually. So this guy said immediately to me, like kind of pulling leg, Neeraj, aaj to tumhari bahut bajayenge hum, because flight cancel ho gayi hai. We have a lot of time now. Oh, we are gonna kill you. And I don't know for what reasons, I just smiled. I said, हाँ sir, like room में जाके भी करूँगा क्या, सो जाऊँगा, बस अब तो 8:30 हो ही गया, so better have a dialogue with you, have some conversations with you. And this was my first reply to it. And then obviously the interview started. Colgate takes a very stressful interview. I did not realize, but it went on till like 45-50 minutes. It was a very long one. And during the interview, they spoke a lot of stuffs, but I patiently answered all of them. It got over. And when I was coming out, okay, my friends were actually waiting outside, because they were worried that ये 40-45 minutes से क्या interview कर रहा है, because 40-45 minutes interviews जाते नहीं थे. And when I came out, like all friends came running to me and surrounded and asked me, ये क्या था यार, like what were you doing? मतलब क्यों क्या हुआ? They said, yo, you were there inside for 45 minutes. Do you know that? And I said, is it? And I looked at the watch and said, yeah, पता नहीं यार, I was enjoying it. I never realized that HR Shilpa was actually coming with me. Maybe she wanted to go to the washroom, so she was coming along with me, and she heard it. She looked at me, yes, I know you enjoyed it. She smiled and she left. And then the results came midnight, 12 o'clock. The first name was Neeraj Purty. Obviously, there wasn't too much of a surprise, to be honest, if I have to say. But if I have to now ask you, what do you learn out of the second story? Aliva, Ashia?
Sir, I think in this, we should enjoy the process. Like if we're going to an interview, we should not be stressed much. We should enjoy what's going on. We should be not thinking about the result. That's what I
Ashia, what do you think?
Yes, I feel in the mother dairies, you were more inclined towards impressing the interviewer, and here you were not. And you were more inclined towards yourself and what you could present in the interview.
Absolutely correct. What else, guys? Abhinav, Ayushi, do you want to say something? I know you will have a lot of such to say.
No, let the students speak. I think they should learn now so that they are well prepared for the placements next year. So these are MBA 1 students, so that they are prepared.
Abhinav, what do you want to say?
My answer was the same, that this time you kept your, you had ample amount of confidence that was needed for an interview. You were not overly, you're not overthinking that how I may perform, how it will affect if I may get the job or not, because you are not that much inclined towards Colgate, if I may say so. So that is how you were just being yourself.
I was not worried about the result. Agar reject bhi ho gaya to kya hai, right?
Exactly. So yeah. I think that you being yourself is most important here, because that gives you, you are confident that you can do anything because at this level, because you are not worried about the results.
You are more concentrated on the process, what is happening right now. You're not worried about future. The result hoga wo to ho gaya. It's not in your control, right? So what is in your control is the present. So you control that. You don't worry about things which are not in your control. So that's what happened. And trust me, the things which you have called out, right? When I went to Calcutta, when the joining happened, and I spoke to Shilpa said exactly the same thing, because I have this habit of collecting feedback. Everywhere I go, I collect feedback. And she said exactly the same things. She said, when Mr. Srivastav asked you, he was trying to bully you. He was like, you were chill, you were relaxed, you know. You said that, okay, theek hai, let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy the process, right? So it was a very positive feedback. They grilled me on the market research concepts and stuffs, but because my concepts were ready, obviously I've done the desk research about the organizations. My communication is already in place. It always was, so never had a problem there. But despite that 45-minute of lengthy conversations, I was kind of enjoying it, right? So that dip never happened. But the most important part, which I was saying, understanding loopholes is one thing. Studying loopholes is first. Understanding loopholes is second. Execution is a very important part. The first standout thing, which was probably I learned from my mistakes in my previous interview and executed well in my second. That's the biggest takeaway here. That how soon you work on your drawbacks and come forward. So all these things, if you see, is soft skill. There is no hard skill. You know, my first interview, when they rejected me, they did not rejected me because Neeraj, marketing concepts nahi aate hain yaar. No. Neither when Colgate picked me up, they picked me up because, oh yaar, tujhe to FMCG bahut aata hai. Right? They picked me up because of my soft skills. And post that, I have appeared a lot of interviews, guys. I mean, I've appeared for Amazon, I cracked Chinpact, I cracked ABI. ABI is like shit of a process. Like, trust me, like it's a very, very grilling process. But I have always seen that you can get probably selected or rejected for your hard skill. I'm not debating that. It has happened. Ek baar Euromonitor Consulting mein, I prepared a deck on a retail market, a consulting project. I sent it across, and they never came back. Unko laga ki ye to trash hai. I mean, he's not worth of calling for an interview also. They never called me. So you get rejected for your hard skills, possible. You can get selected for your hard skill also, possible. But your soft skill, is gonna amplify your success. It is what it's kind of it's an amplifier. It's a game changer. A soft skill is always a game changer. And I have realized that in last 10 years, whenever I have been selected, right, especially when I've been selected, it has been because of my soft skill. It has never been because of my hard skill or something like that. So it was always been my soft skill, right? So this is why I'm asking you guys to work constantly. And as I said, it's just not English. English is just a piece of your soft skill. There are a lot more things in soft skills. You have to work on each one of them, and only then, you know, your overall soft skill will be developed. And tomorrow, it's everything. The way you think, the way you respond to a situation, the way you're addressing a question, right? The way you are presenting, your confidence level, everything is soft skill. Everything is soft skill. And this is where MBA becomes such a different course compared to an engineering, you know, probably data analytics courses these days. MBA is a very different kind of a course where a lot of emphasis is on your soft skill. So your soft skill has to be there. Hard skill is a mandate. It has to be there, but your soft skill is going to thrive, right? So this is what I wanted to convey to you. I'm sorry I've taken us so much of time. It's nearly an hour. So I think we can, I'm okay what I wanted to convey, but if you guys still have some questions for me, I'm still ready to answer you. And then
Hello, sir. I have a question.
Yeah.
Sir, you told everything, but after you told one thing that after we have to do sales, whether it's in any domain. So you said that for sales, pursuing skills is more important. So can you give some, like, after all we have to sell, so can you give some tips like how to do this, increase this pursuing nature and sales? Like if a product comes to you, like I'm in second year, I have done internship in insurance domain. They told me to sell insurance of 1 lakh or something, and it was very difficult for me. So I got scared of marketing. So I took my domain as HR and analytics because I was scared that I could not sell because I was removed out of the internship. So for that, I just wanted to ask, like, if I could not get placed in my domain, and if I got placed in some marketing, so after all, you have to do sales. So if you cannot generate leads and sales, then the company will sure remove you. So can you give some tip in like how to sell a product which is like an insurance product or any other product? Which,
there is no quick solution, to be honest. There is no quick solution to it's a capability. It's a capability. There are a lot of qualities which goes behind it. And as I said, that's where I'm emphasizing your soft skills, your interpersonal skills. In insurance, you are in a customer facing role now, right? So you're dealing with customers. You need to know your product well, what it is, right? You need to know whether that customer is your target in the first place or not. I can't sell a comb to a bald guy. There is no need. I can't sell a shampoo to a bald guy. There is no need, right? So are you doing that back-end analysis properly? That is my sales gonna convert here, right? And then when you are facing them, are you facing them with confidence? I feel that confidence is an issue in your case. You are still not clear about what you want to do. And I think that is where you need to take a step back, you know, introspect. This is where your soft skills comes in, that introspection, that understanding of, you know, what are the things you are good at. You don't have to pick up something which you don't want to. It's as simple as that. And when I say you at the end of the day, you have to sell, what I mean is, see, when I'm in marketing, I'm in trade marketing, I don't have target to sell a product. But what my targets are, if I'm doing a promotion, what kind of an incremental sales is happening? So even I have my revenue targets. Even in services, in an operations team, right? They have their revenue targets every year. That is how you are evaluated. Even in insurance domain, if you are working in operations, you have your revenue targets. So revenue targets is everywhere. It's gonna push you. So you need to go back and work on your interpersonal skill, and most importantly, work on your confidence level. I think that's gonna take you through.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yep. Anyone else?
Yeah, the question that was asked to you during the seventh question, that how do you sell this piece of chocolate to a diabetic guy? I just wanted to know wanted to know what is the most closest answer that one could have given at that time.
The best answer, dude, is to, you should go ahead and sell it. Okay. He's diabetic, right? So he understands that having a product or having a confectionery which is having unsaturated sugar is injurious to health. So he understands that component pretty well. So you can probably use it as a leverage. You can tell him that, especially if your product is a good one, you have certain certifications from health organizations that, you have saturated sugar which are dissolvable, right? So, and then let him decide, because not necessarily that he will consume it for himself. He can pass it on to his kids. He can pass it on to friends, relatives, everyone. You are basically cross-selling. You're selling it to someone else, right? So you should go ahead and sell. You should focus on that part of the benefit of having that product. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir.
One more. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Go ahead. Why just one more? You can ask 10 more. I'm here to answer your questions. Don't worry. I'm not going to leave without answering everyone's question.
Thank you so much. Yeah, this one. My question is like, if you as an interviewer are going to come to our college, and what kind of what is the skill set that we have, and what is the level of students?
No, I don't know.
maybe if you know. Okay, if you don't know also, and you have come to our college and recruit a bunch of guys from here. So what is the first thing you will be seeing in an interview or in a guy whom you will be recruiting?
Okay.
Means if you're recruiting for someone who will be working with you, or who will work or we will be working under you, so what is the first thing that you will be seeing in the person?
See, Anirban, it's not a one thumb rule in this case. Huh? Let me be honest, because man, a lot will depend on what kind of a role am I hiring for, right? I mean, because you're thinking from your side, right? But I am visiting to backfill a position which I have, right? I found Anirban to be an extremely smart guy here, right? But Anirban ko SQL nahi aata. I need a guy who needs to be an SQL competent guy. Can I pick you? The answer is no, right? So obviously, when I will come in, it depends on what criterias am I, kind of trying to hire. But if I have to keep hard skills aside, SQL aata hai, Python aata hai, retail understand karta hai nahi. If I have to keep this side, soft skill point of view, there are 2-3 things which I look out for, which even I aspire myself. First thing is confidence, man. Confidence is, it makes an average Virat Kohli under-19 captain to a world beater. Okay, Rohit Sharma probably was a much more talented batsman when he was playing under-19, because I remember when the first time Virat Kohli was there in under-19 team, when he as a 17-year-old, Rohit was in the playing 11, Virat bench mein baithta tha. I don't know how many people know this. Okay, it was only the next year, the next World Cup when happened, Virat was the captain of that under-19 team. Rohit was already 20-21, so obviously he couldn't be a part of that under-19 team. But then once Virat came in, you have seen Virat, right? It's just not hard work, but it's also the confidence. So confidence is number one. Confidence at most chahiye hota hai. Okay. 2 is your ability to take pressure. As I said, confidence high hona koi bada baat nahi hai, right? But whether are you overconfident or not, ye tab pata chalta hai pressure padta. Okay. So when the real life kicks in, right? When things get tough, right? Then your character comes out. Then you are tested. So your ability to take pressure is the second most important thing. Okay. And third most important thing for me always, if you remember in the initial discussion, I said, individual doesn't give results. It's the team which gives the results. So for me, it is a mandate that he is a good team player. He's a very good team player. He's that kind of a team player that if one of his teammates is struggling, he fetches him and helps him improve in life, because that's the kind of a person I am. I don't live life for me, because how am I giving back to the society if I'm just living life for myself, right? So those are the three qualities I always try to see in an individual. If he doesn't fits in any of these three qualities, I will hire him. Even if like he might be an Einstein, I'll say that you go to that team, maybe that's more suitable, but probably you will not be fitting in my team.
So maybe my soft skill can cover up my hard skills.
Again, depends, no, how critical is that required. I mean, अगर मुझे चाहिए कि SQL एकदम hardcore SQL guy, right? Then even if you are chalta kind of an SQL guy, I might not be able to take it, because then I'm not doing justice to you, right? I'm not throwing a right challenge to you. I'm setting a wrong expectations from you. So it's not your fault, it's my fault. Correct.
Thank you.
What else? Are guys sleepy or they are feeling hungry, या उनको लग रहा है कि नीरज बहुत बोर कर दिया already? आधे घंटे का था, 1 घंटा क्रॉस हो गया. No, everyone is done.
Yes, I think.
Cool.
So,
I think done.
Yes, sir. So thank you, sir. It was really an insightful session, and the way you described like your experiences and the tricks to crack the interview and the importance of the soft skills as well as hard skills. So I'm sure the students present here will definitely get benefit and will do great in their interviews during their placement scenarios. And so I really want to thank you for taking out your time, the precious time from a busy schedule, and enlightening us with your thoughts. And I would like to thank Ayushi ma'am for her guidance and cooperation for making this event successful. And thank you to all the students for being the active listeners and interactive being in the session. Thank you.
Before I wind up, thank you, Neeraj. It was such an interesting session for me. So I was also totally engrossed, and I think all the students were actively participating. So I thought this session really went off well. So thank you for accepting my invitation yesterday at a very short notice, and despite a very busy schedule, a shift immediately after your shift, you joined and you joined before us. So extremely sorry for that. And I think it's an interesting session for the students, and I think all the students participated. So they don't do that in a class, but it was in your session. So I feel that it went off well. So thank you, Neeraj. Thank you once again on behalf of School of Management, KIIT University, and Founder Sir for joining us and enlightening us. So it's a pleasure for us. Okay,
thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me. It was very nice to see you in person, to be honest, in a lot of ways. So it's always nice to see you.
So since we are having virtual events, so no honoring is possible, but definitely once everything after the COVID pandemic is over, I request you to come down to the School of Management and again enlighten the students with more sessions. Okay.
I hope when I really hope things become normal, right? Everyone goes back to their regular lives. I am super bored at home myself, to be honest. Right? Even I want to go back to my regular life. So yeah, I look forward to you guys. Thanks a lot for inviting me. But yeah, मेरा time management इतना खराब नहीं है. I mean, I know it was a half-an-hour session. It became a 1-hour session. I'm not that bad in time management, honestly. It's just that I'm a very passionate speaker. Okay, so I hope that I was able to help some of you. I hope I've addressed some of your questions. I'm always available there. Okay, I'm at the end of the day your alumni. So if ever you feel you have some questions which probably you think I will be able to help you, reach out to me on LinkedIn. Okay, if you ever feel that you want to have one more session on something else, do reach out to me. I'll let you know if I'm free. I'll make myself available. It was nice connecting with you guys, and it's a good thing that we are trying to network. We are trying to network. We are trying to connect everyone. Speak more with my fellow batchmates, 2010 batch, and just not 2000 batch, probably any other batch for matter of fact. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of more folks like me who will like to come and help you with their inputs, which hopefully will make a difference in your life. Right? Thank you so much, and have a good night, and apologies for taking more time. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. Thank